Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. So we're going to do a different type of reading today. We've got actually two of these up, and I thought it would just be a bit of fun really for the channel. There are weeklies coming next week, but I thought we'd get these up just to have a bit of fun really. But, you know, I've seen a lot of these sort of pick a card readings. Well, I haven't seen a lot of them. I've watched one or two of them. I thought, that's such a cool idea. So today we're going to do pick a tarot reading. There's probably some of these on YouTube anyway. I don't know. I've only actually seen the pick a card, but I'm sure there are pick a card, tarot card reading where you're actually, you know, you've got a fully fledged reading there. So we're going to do pick a tarot reading. This reading is for singles. It is coming up to the month of love, February. So what we want to do is we want to have a look at, not expressly Valentine's, but we want to have a look in general at two different types of love reading. So this reading is for singles, and this singles reading is, will I find new love in the next 6 months? So between now and June 2020, will you single guys find love? So for tarot reading 1, we're using the Light Seers Tarot. Tarot reading 2, the Tarot Grand Luxe, and the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. How this reading will work is you need to think about your question, will you find love in the next 6 months? And then you need to go down to the comment section or the description box, and you need to click on the timestamp. So the timestamp will be highlighted in blue, and you just click on that. So you click on, say for example, you say, am I going to find love? Am I going to find love? And you say, I'll choose, let me think, reading 2. So you click on the time stamp and it'll take you through to reading 2, and you'll hear what it has to say there, okay? Remember, you can only pick once, really. Well, you can pick how many times you like, but it really is best just to really think about it and just meditate on which reading you want to choose and then just click into that. I hope that makes sense. For those of you who are probably sort of in between relationships, or you're in a relationship, hop on over to the next reading, and that's the pick a tarot reading, and it's for couples. This one's for singles. All right, so without further ado guys, we are going to have a look at will you find love in the next 6 months, and you can click on reading 1, reading 2, or reading 3, either in comment section or the description box below. Enjoy. Okay guys, reading 1, will you find love in the next 6 months? For all of you singles, we're using the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. Okay, welcome singles. Let's have a look at your reading. I'm going to do the Celtic cross on this. So for tarot reading 1, will you find love in the next 6 months? Let's have a look at what's going on around your present situation, singles. Oh, the King of Wands. So there could be somebody around you at the moment. We're getting a King of Wands. Male, or I think if you're a male and you're heterosexual, I think with the King of Wands energy, you're probably speaking to people at the moment because you seem to come across as really confident and really self-assured with the King of Wands. You might also have people that are very interested in you at the moment as well with being a King of Wands, because King of Wands is very charismatic. He's also got a lot of interest around him. He's also somebody who attracts lots of different people in because of his, you know, his charisma and his sexual prowess, as it were. I think if you're a female, you might have somebody around you, possibly that you're interested in at the moment, showing us this King of Wands energy. Or alternatively, again, doesn't matter whether it's a king or a queen, you could still be attracting people in with that card as well. What's influencing this King of Wands energy showing here? Right, the 7 of Swords energy. Okay, so this card is what's going on around you right now, and the reason for this happening is because, or the reason that this person is around you is because of the 7 of Swords energy. I certainly feel for some of you guys, if you've got somebody around you, a King of Wands energy, they're showing up around you because they are the 7 of Swords perhaps. The 7 of Swords is somebody who can be, I don't want to say that this person's sneaky, but this person uses certain strategies and certain, you know, ways and means of getting what they want with the 7 of Swords energy showing here. And the 7 of Swords and the King of Wands actually for me works very well as a combination because this person is extraordinarily charismatic and motivated and very ambitious and very sexually alluring. And with the Seven of Swords energy, this person is very strategical. They know how to, you know, get around people, and they know how to seduce people and that type of thing with the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords isn't always about a deception. I mean, there could be a deception involved in the situation because you've got a Seven of Swords, but also the Seven of Swords can mean that somebody's just extraordinarily clever and strategic and knows how to get what they want. What's the root cause of this King of Wands showing up around you? Oh, the Ten of Wands. So lots of pressure. The reason that you've got this energy here is because there's been a lot of pressure in a relationship. I think around some of you, it says that you're single, but for some of you guys, you might not be strictly single. That's what I'm getting here. Because I just feel some of you guys are going through a lot of pressure. I mean, we do have a 10, which is the ending of a cycle as well. So it could be the root issue is there's an ending of a cycle, and around you guys in the next, you know, in the right now, in the present, is this King of Wands. All right, so ending of a cycle, and you've got this person around you now, because the what's influencing this person is the Seven of Swords energy showing here. I mean, it could also be that this Seven of Swords energy, it might be that you don't even know who this person is as well, because the Seven of Swords energy tiptoes around people very quietly, very kind of, you know, Seven of Swords person lurks in the shadows. They're very hidden. So it might also be what's influencing this person being around you. It might be that somebody's been watching you for a while. You may not even know that this person's been watching you. And the root issue is the Ten of Wands energy showing here. Maybe some of you guys are coming to the end of the cycle. Maybe you're finally coming out of the end of the cycle of being single. Here we've got this person around you right now. They're a little bit hidden though. You may not see them. You might not know who they are. Also, it could be for some of you guys that there's somebody around you. Maybe you've dealt with, the reason that this is showing up is maybe some of you guys have dealt with the deception here. Maybe the root issue is the Ten of Wands. Maybe there's a relationship under pressure. Some of you guys have got the impression that there's definitely somebody around you. All right, I don't think that you're completely single, or you're, you know, if you're single, then you probably won't be for very long. Where have you been in the last 2 to 3 months? Or what's been going on for you in the last 2 to 3 months? Oh, new love. So yeah, there has been a new relationship in the last 2 to 3 months for some of you guys. Ace of Cups. So Ace of Cups is the new love card. So there's been a new relationship for some of you guys, or there's been a romantic interest around you. And I feel that it's in the Seven of Swords is the influences. So this person here, I think, has been around you for quite a while. I definitely feel if it's not new love, there's definitely some form of an attraction happening here around an individual showing up. And it might be with the Seven of Swords that this person's been wheedling their way into your life. I don't see this as somebody who's being deceptive, but I certainly see them as using some tactics, some very clever tactics with the Seven of Swords energy to wheedle their way into your life with this King of Wands energy. The root issue is the Ten of Wands. It might be that you weren't giving this person a chance with the Ten of Wands energy showing here as well. Because the Seven of Swords is all about being kind of really like sneaky and that type of thing. So it just feels like somebody's been wheedling their way, worming their way into your life. There they are. They're showing up as a result of that Seven of Swords. They're using some very clever tactics here. Okay, very clever tactics. And the reason that they're using those clever tactics is because they've been finding it very, very difficult to get through to you. I think this is them. Because this is the reason that this King of Wands has been using clever tactics, because they found it very difficult to get through to you. Definitely, I think there's been an attraction between you guys in the last 2 to 3 months, but for some of you singles, you've found it very difficult to let this person in. All right, and they've been kind of like having this headache, like, oh my God, when is this person going to let me in? When are they going to finally start trusting me? I do feel some of you guys have probably had a little bit of trust issues with someone here. What's the most likely outcome then of this situation? Oh, the moon reverse, nice. I think that's very good energy, because I feel with the moon reverse energy that there's going to be a revelation here. There's going to be an opening up. I think that you guys are going to start, or at least you may start opening up to this person with the moon energy in the reverse. I think you're going to start opening up your heart to this individual here. Okay. Because I think that this is all this person. I think, you know, we've got this King of Wands and this person showing up around you because they've been quite sneaky. They've been using clever tactics and strategies, because the root issue is, and the reason that they're using those, because this is the foundation, really the foundation card is the foundation of the influence and that energy there. So the reason that this person's been using clever tactics to get to you in the present is because, you know, it's been quite a bit of pressure. They found it, and Ten of Wands means difficulty, so they may have found it really kind of stressful and difficult, but also because they've been really persevering with the Ten of Wands energy. And there's been an attraction between you and this person, I think, in the last 2 to 3 months. And the most likely outcome is that you may just take down your guard. You might just open up about what your fears were with that moon reverse in terms of letting them in. What's coming in the next 2 to 3 months? This is my 2 to 3 month area. Knight, but I think that things are going to move quite slowly concerning this person. Knight of Coins. I think that things will move very slowly concerning this individual showing here. All right. How are you approaching this situation right now? The Sun. But I do feel actually you're feeling quite positive about it. If you approach the situation being the Sun, then you're approaching it in terms of feeling quite positive. I think that you do feel quite optimistic. I think that you do. So I don't know whether you're playing a game with this person, but I think that you've got some optimism. I feel that what's going on here for you guys is that you're making somebody work for something here, which is not a bad thing. It feels like you're making someone work. It feels like you're not rushing into anything. This person kind of got like, oh my God, when are they going to let me in? So they're using clever tactics, because I think with the Ten of Wands, they've just been under this huge pressure. Like, oh my God, when is this going to happen? When are they going to let me in? What's going to happen? You know, when is this person going to just take down their guard and just let me take them out on a date and that type of thing. Things progressing very slowly, but it's funny how you're approaching everything as the Sun. You know, it's almost like you're smiling, you're optimistic. It feels like you feel like you've got them in the place that you want them to have them in, but you're not rushing into anything here. What is the advice that the Tarot has for you concerning this situation? The Ten of Coins energy is the advice. I feel that the advice is just make sure that you feel content with this person. Make sure that you fully trust them. Because the Ten of Cups energy is a card about feeling satisfied, feeling content, feeling a sense of feeling a sense of satisfaction, emotional satisfaction. So I just feel the universe is telling you as advice, just make sure that you feel complete. Because the tens are completion as well. Make sure that you feel completely satisfied with who this person is. I mean, even though you feel kind of optimistic, I think that you feel quite good about the flat. You know, I think with this Sun, it almost makes me feel that you feel quite flattered. That's how it comes across, that you actually feel quite flattered that this person is paying you so much attention, but you're not making it easy for them because they're doing all of this legwork here. But you feel quite flattered. I think if the universe is... I think there's two things with you. I think number one, you feel quite flattered, but on the other hand, you're being very cautious. The universe is saying the advice is just make sure that you feel ready and you feel contented and satisfied enough to let this person in, because that's most likely going to be the outcome here. The most likely outcome based on everything. What are your hopes or fears? The Five of Pentacles energy. I feel that because it shows a gambling machine, it feels that your hopes would be to take a gamble with the Five of Coins energy. Your fears might be that you've got nothing in common with this person, really, but your hope would be to take a gamble. What's the overall outcome? So in the next 2 to 3 months, I do see things moving slowly. The overall outcome, where are things heading to in the next 6 months then as a result of this energy here? Ooh, Page of Coins in the reverse. I don't really see that you see this person as being an option. There's an option here for love. Somebody really likes you. You're flattered by the attention that they pay to you. You're flattered that they're interested in you, but you're still being very cautious with them. You're not kind of, you're not rushing into anything. You're still very kind of cautious about relationships. You're still a little bit scared, but you're still very flattered. They want to come in. They want you to let them into your life. And the most likely outcome based on all of this stuff here is more than likely you would open up to them. And I think that you would. Next 2 to 3 months, things moving very slowly here. The advice from the universe is make sure that you feel completely satisfied with this person before you kind of really let them in. Your hope would be to take a gamble, but fear would be, well, what if we don't have anything in common? Five of Coins. The overall outcome from the next 2 to 3 months, things moving really slowly, the Knight of Coins. The overall outcome overall in the next 6 months, so 2 to 3 months going on to 6 months, Page of Coins in the outcome reversed. I don't really see any investment being made in this relationship. I don't. Because Page of Coins in the reverse, if in the upright it's slow movement, in the reverse it's probably no movement. No investment, no movement, no interest. Page of Coins in the reverse, lack of interest. I think, to be honest with you, when I look at this and this, it looks like things just peter out. So for reading one, you have attention around you. You're very cautious but very flattered. Somebody is interested in being more than just friends. But I do see inevitably things moving very slowly until they actually eventually just peter out. Okay? Because this card can also say we're not interested in... Remember, in the upright, the Page of Coins is somebody who is interested in finding things out. They're an explorer. He's a student. In the reverse, this person is not interested in learning a damn thing. So I just don't think that anything is happening here between you and this person. I actually feel that this just peters out. Hi guys, welcome to reading 2. So if you've picked reading 2 for your singles, Will You Find Love in the Next 6 Months reading, we are using the Tarot Grand Luxe by Ciro Marchetti. Okay, singles who have chosen reading 2. Let's have a look what's going on around you for love, for your love lives in the next 6 months. Oh, you've got somebody around you. You've got a King of Cups. King of Cups. Okay, that's interesting. So right now, apparently there's somebody around you, a King of Cups. This could be a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancerian, male, or indeed a female. What's the reason that this person shows up around you right now? Oh, somebody wants to contact you. So you're either speaking with someone or they want to communicate with you. You've got a Page of Swords. What's at the root cause of that? Somebody wants to rectify the matter. There's somebody, singles, who wants to come back to you. And I think I want to come back to you right now. Because this area for me is the present situation. This is what's influencing the present situation, and this is what's at the heart of the matter. What's the heart of the matter? What's the root cause? It's justice. So I feel that there's somebody around you here who wants to communicate with you right now, and it's to rectify a matter, justice energy. So it looks to me like somebody wants to reconcile with some of you guys in reading 2. Where have you been? What have you been doing in terms of love? What have you experienced in the last 2 to 3 months? The ending of a cycle here. So some of you guys, and it might be that this person... Maybe in the last 2 to 3 months you ended a relationship with someone here. The cycle come to completion, world energy. Therefore, what's the most likely outcome for this, guys, in the next 6 months? The most likely outcome for your love life based on these energies in the next 6 months. Oh, 6 of Coins energy. That's interesting. So some of you guys, it may be... I mean, you've got this coin here. And we need to get the coin into here to tip the scales. You know, to get them to balance. All right. 6 of Coins is usually give and take in a relationship. But this is someone, and this is someone that you've known. So the most likely outcome, there you are, there's that person. They want to contact you because they want to right or wrong here. Both cards got the scales here. Whilst the scales are balanced here, this one is up here. So the most likely outcome is, it feels like the most likely outcome is that it's going to be in your hands. That's what I'm getting from this 6 of Coins. Because the scales are balanced. This person here wants to rectify the matter, the justice energy. They want to rectify a matter. I feel that this person, you may have ended the cycle within the last 2 to 3 months. I think you already ended a relationship with this person. Therefore, the most likely outcome will be, if things carry on the way that they're going. I said it for with this 6 of Coins, because the balance is scaled here, but this is balanced. The scales, sorry, are balanced here, but this is what this person wants. Most likely outcome will be the 6 of Coins energy. The scales are not balanced as the most likely outcome. Okay, it's going to be down to you as to whether you invest in this. You have the potential. I feel that what this is saying is that you hold the cards in your hand. It's not a yes or a no as to whether this is going to happen. I feel with you holding the pentacle here, you hold the cards in your hand. It's going to be down to you whether you invest or not in this. Because the scales are still uneven here. This person wants the scales evened out here, but the most likely outcome is that the scales will still be uneven here. Okay, so this is not by a long shot sorted out. This person wants to reconcile with you, but I definitely feel it's going to be down to you whether you want to do this or not. Let's have a look at the next 2 to 3 months, what's happening. Alright, you got a 2 of Wands energy here, so you might have a choice between 2 paths. Could be 2 lovers, could be 2 paths. Alright, with that 2 of Wands energy. The choice, 2s represent choices. So some of you guys are going to have a choice between 2 paths. Could be 2 lovers, as I say, or it could be whether you're going to take this person back or not. How are you approaching this situation right now? All right, I feel that you are very confused with the moon energy. I also feel that you're approaching it from an air of cautiousness and also anxiety with the moon energy. I think that you've got some and I also feel that in terms of emotionally wise, how you might be feeling, because the moon represents phases, you know, like cycles. So I also feel that emotionally you might be going through kind of this, you know, these phases where you're kind of like, yes, I do want to be with this person, but then no, I don't. So you're going through this emotional kind of roller coaster here concerning all of this. I think that you're very uncertain, but you are faced with a choice here. And I'm going to clarify that actually. Where are my cards to clarify? Let's use these ones. I'm going to ask what the Two of Wands is about in a moment. Let's ask what it's about now actually. What is this Two of Wands about, please? Let's have a look. So I'm just going to clarify with a different deck. Oopsie daisy. Let's get these cards up like so. Alright, you say that there's a choice being faced by singles who have chosen reading 2 in the next 2 to 3 months. What is this choice that they are facing? What is this choice that they are facing in 2 cards? Right, so whether you want to persevere, I think, with the Ten of Wands energy showing here, or release the relationship, I think, with the Star. Because the Ten of Wands can be, tens represent ending of cycles, but also the card here is also perseverance. So the Ten of Wands might be, well, do you want to persevere with this individual? I.e., do you want to give it another go? Or do you want to, with the Star energy, free yourself? Remember, the Star is ruled by Uranus and also Aquarius. Uranus is the planet of freedom and rebellion, and Aquarius is also the zodiac sign that indicates freedom and liberation. So whether you want to persevere or liberate yourself, I would say, with the Star energy showing here. What is the advice that the universe has for you? I think that you ought to, with this Fool energy, just completely let go of this baggage. I think the advice is to go your own way now. It's to jump into something new. It's to look at new opportunities. I feel that the advice is to let go. Again, we've got another card ruled by Uranus. Both Fool and Star are ruled, the planets that rule them is Uranus. Both cards talk about freeing yourself from, and liberating yourself from bondage. So I actually feel that the advice here is really, because you're kind of stuck between, not a rock and a hard place, but you're definitely in between 2 thoughts. Should I stay or go? Do I persevere or do I liberate and free myself with the Star? Well, the universe will tell you in the advice energy, liberation, let go, move away. And I'm going to ask why that is. Why have you given the reader number 2, the advice that they should be letting go of this relationship? Why have you given them reader number 2 that they should be letting go of this situation? 2 cards. Because of the Six of Cups. Ooh, and the Four of Wands. You know, it's interesting because the Six of Cups is all about the past. And the Four of Wands is all about a relationship, a happiness. Four of Wands energy showing here. You should be letting go. The advice is, I read the Fool as letting go. I don't see it as a new opportunity with this person. I see it as the advice is to let go. Soulmate. Six of Cups energy. These are 2 very bright cards together. And they're not, this is what happens with tarot sometimes. You'll get cards that, right, and it doesn't say anything bad at all. It just says something really good. It's because of the Six of Cups. So we asked, why have you advised reader number 2 to do the Fool? It's because of the Six of Cups energy. This is the past. This is the past. I think that this relationship belongs in the past with the Four of Wands and the Six of Cups. I think this relationship belongs in the past. Okay. I think it's because this relationship... And why does this relationship belong in the past? What do you mean by... Can you just give us a bit more in-depth information on that Six of Cups and Four of Wands? Can you just tell us a little bit more about what you mean by those cards in 2 cards? The Strength card. And the Two of Coins. So what it means is strength, willpower, transformation, powerful transformation. I think that you're on this kind of new journey. I think that there is a powerful transformation happening with you at the moment, reader 2. Okay, I think there's a powerful transformation that you're going through here. 2 of Coins is transformation, strength is power. All right. Yeah, I think that you're going through a powerful transformation. I think it's saying that you should leave. I mean, I would read the Fool as letting go. So I do feel that you should let go of this. I think it's time. I think it's time now that you pursue new ventures and new opportunities with that Fool energy, because I think that this relationship is in the past. What you had, I think, with these 2 cards is in the past, and now you're going through a very powerful transformation. And I feel that you really should be taking, heed to that. What are your hopes or fears? 8 of Coins. Well, I think that, it's interesting because the 8 of Coins in a love reading means to put work and effort into a relationship in terms of hoping the work that you put in is going to be paying off. But this is also study. You can see on this deck there's a guy that's studying something here, so he's putting a lot of focus in. I think that your hope would be to put hard work and effort into this relationship. I think that you'd like to do it, but I do feel that you've got concerns here. I'm just going to ask why you're feeling so concerned. Why is reader 2 feeling so concerned? They're approaching the relationship from the viewpoint of the moon. Confusion, concern, anxiety. Why is this in 2 cards? 10 of Cups, which is happiness and contentment. The High Priestess energy showing here. Okay, so the High Priestess in a love reading can sometimes be somebody who feels very disconnected, but also secrets in a relationship as well. The 10 of Cups and the High Priestess. And the 10 of Cups, I don't always read 10s as change or cycles ending. I read them for what they are as well. And that 10 of Cups is a family, a happy relationship, secrets. Probably because there were secrets in the relationship. This is what this person did. I think that this person kept things from you. That's what I think is happening here. Because they've got someone around you, reader 2. That King of Cups energy. They want to communicate with you, Page of Swords. They want to rectify. So they want to put their, they want to put their case forward. The Page of Swords is a truth teller. So this is someone who wants to put their case forward to you. They want to rectify the relationship. The relationship probably ended in the last 2 to 3 months for some of you guys. But this person comes back and they say, look, I want to rectify something with you. I want to sort it out. The most likely outcome will be that the power lies in your hands. You're the one with the coin. You only have to invest in this and it's all systems go again. However, coming in the next 2 to 3 months, we have the 2 of Wands, a decision for some of you guys to make. Okay, you're going to be at a bit of a crossroads. You're going to be faced with a decision. Do you persevere or do you, cleanse yourself, release yourself of the situation with the star energy showing here? The advice from the universe is to start again, I think, with this Fool energy. This relationship is in the past. I think that some of you guys are now on this kind of path where there is a new and there is a more powerful transformation that you're making. I do feel that some of you guys here are a little bit reluctant with that moon, a little bit fearful about getting back involved with this person again, because this person had a lot of secrets within the relationship showing here. Even though you'd love to still carry on working with them, you still love to kind of focus on building something up within the relationship. I think that your hope would also be looking at the book, that some of you guys would be hoping that this person would be revealing completely the truth to you. What is the overall outcome from this area here anywhere, whereby in the next 2 to 3 months we see that you're faced with a decision? Do you persevere or do you release this individual with the star? Where is everything heading in the next 6 months concerning that energy there? 9 of Wands energy. Okay, it's interesting, the 9 of Wands, because 9 of Wands would be still hanging on in there. He does look tired. I mean, the 9s can also mean that you're nearing a completion of a stage, nearing completion, nearing a cycle. A cycle is nearly at an end. But this is the overall outcome from this. So if you're faced with a decision here, 10 of Wands energy showing there, whether you persevere or whether you let this go. Star can also mean to release and let go. So do you persevere or do you let go? In the next 6 months as a result of that energy, we are looking at the Nine of Wands energy. I feel that some of you guys will probably give this another try, because the Nine of Wands means to kind of just give it one more try before you move on. So I think that some of you guys with that Nine of Wands in the overall outcome will give this another try. You'll give this relationship another try. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for reader 2. It feels to me, reader 2, that somebody's coming back. Somebody really wants to rectify a relationship with you in the next 6 months. We'll do this reading quickly again. King of Cups could be Scorpio, parties Cancerian, male, female, doesn't have to be. Wants to rectify a situation with you. They want to communicate and rectify and put their, you know, this is truth and justice, you know. This is like rectifying things, being honest. So this person really wants to rectify a situation. It feels like something happened in the last 2 to 3 months. There was an ending of a cycle. I'm just going to clarify and see what that was. What was this world? What was the ending of the cycle about? Right, it was about the devil. That flicked out. So we have the devil there showing up. And the Page of Swords. I feel that there was a lot of arguments in this relationship. Possibly even some violence, probably. Possibly even some violence. Because the devil and the Page of Swords, this is communication. And the devil is, you know, an evil card. It's about all these bad shit happening in relationships. So some of you guys, it could, and this is arguments as well. So this could be a violent argument too. So it looks like there was an ending of a cycle because of violence within a relationship, terrible arguments within a relationship. But this person wants to come back and put their side of the story to you. They want to rectify the situation. It's going to be in your hands whether this happens or not. You are faced with a decision whether you're going to carry on persevering. And I think it's apt in a way that that Ten of Wands shows up there, to be honest with you. I think it's really apt. Reader 2. I think it's really, really apt because I think you really struggled here. I think there was a lot of arguments, a lot of, you know, a lot of violence, that type of thing, really bad arguments. And I think that some of you guys just had enough. So the decision is, do I still want to carry on struggling with this, with the Ten of Wands energy? That's one of the decisions. Or do I want to set myself free with the Star? The advice is to set yourself free, full energy here, because this relationship is now in the past. You're going through a very powerful transformation, a very powerful change. Some of you guys are really worried about doing this all over again, because this person, I feel, not only was probably quite abusive, they also had a lot of secrets within the relationship. You would like to, I think that the hope is that you could work together in this relationship, and that maybe you could work together to try and discover more, to try and find more out, to try and advance the relationship. It's all about advancement, to move things along. The overall outcome from this energy here, I think some of you guys are going to give it one more try with that Nine of Wands, because the Nine of Wands can mean to give something one more try before you move on to the next stage. So I actually feel that some of you guys, for some reason, you'll be talked around and you're probably going to give somebody another go. Hi guys, welcome to reading 3. So if you've chosen reading 3 for what's happening in your life, you're single. If you're a single person and you have chosen reading 3 to see what's happening in the next 6 months concerning your love life, we are using for this reading the Light Seers Tarot. So we're going to get shuffling. Okay, reader 3, let's have a look at what's going on for you, singles and love. So this is if you've chosen reading 3. So in your present situation right now, around you, we have the 7 of Coins. I think that you're waiting for something to... When you get the 7 of Coins, it's a card about putting time and effort into a situation, and now you're waiting for something. You're waiting for the fruits of your labour. You're waiting for something to evolve. The only way that I can really, and let's have a look at what's influencing this. What is the influence of that card? So the 4 of Cups energy. So the influence, the reason for this is because of this. Well, I certainly feel that with the 4 of Cups energy, you know, already almost feels, reader 3, that you've been on kind of some form of a self-evolvement journey, because I feel that for some of you guys, what's influencing this energy here is that you have had lots of romantic interest. The 4 of Cups in a love reading often means that we've got romantic interest, we've got lots of people showing us attention, but the problem with that is we don't often kind of find interest. So this is the card of boredom and apathy and dissatisfaction. So the 4 of Cups, the cups around you are the offers. Can you see the hand on that particular? See the hand coming in here? And then you've got all these other cups here, and this girl is kind of like, oh man, yeah, I've got people interested in me, I'm so bored. You know, and that's why, this is why this card is influencing you guys here. You're waiting. Some of you guys are right now waiting for, you know, true love, for the right love to evolve with the Seven of Pentacles energy. Now, what's at the root cause of this energy here? The Knight of Wands is the reason for this. All right, so let's have a look at this. What we've got is you guys waiting for the right lover to come in, the Seven of Coins energy. I mean, you're certainly at the stage where you're saying, I'm ready for it, because at the root of everything here on the Seven of Coins, these roots here are what you've planted. You've put the work in. You're not afraid of love, I don't think, here. I don't think you're afraid to get involved. I don't think that you've got any particularly big issues. I just think that you're waiting now because you have interest around you. This is influencing this. So the reason that you're waiting is because you've had the interest. The Four of Cups, you've had a lot of people showing you interest, but yet they're just not right for you. So as a result of that, right now you're waiting for the right person to come through because you put the work into yourself. You're now at the point where you're like, yeah, I'm ready for love. There's no issues with love at all with me. I'm just waiting for the right person. I've had people come in, but they're just not right. Now, the reason for this energy is because of the Knight of Wands. So this is probably the type of person that you've been meeting. Because this area here, how I do my Celtic cross is this area here, out of all of the cards, it's going to influence this one here. And therefore, this one here will influence this one here. So we've got this kind of little triangle going on with these three. So I treat this as my triangle here. Whereas I'm looking at the influence on this card here, but what's influencing this one. So in other words, you're waiting for the right person to come in. All right, you've got all of these seeds that you've planted, but you're waiting for something to come up. So you've probably got connections as well. Those seeds are probably the people that you've kind of made friends with, or people you could have met online, for example, with the Seven of Coins, and you're just waiting to see which one is real potential here. But the reason for this is because what you've had you don't like, you're bored with it. It's like you're saying to yourself, it's the same old, same old. And what is the same? Well, if this card is based on this one, or this one is based on this one, well, we're asking, well, what is same old, same old? Well, same old is the same old fast loving type of individual. The Knight of Wands in a love reading can mean many things, but one of the meanings of this card is somebody who likes sex, somebody who likes fun, somebody who likes to hit it and quit it, somebody who doesn't want to settle down. This guy likes to go in, Knight of Wands likes to go in, have a good time, and then he or she likes to go off and find, you know, move on to the next available individual, move on to the next lover. So I just feel that you've been kind of meeting people who aren't, there's a lack of interest in this person. You've evolved, you've moved on, and this is why you're waiting for your, you know, for the roots of your labours to flourish. You're waiting for the rewards of all your hard work, because the hard work that you've planted here with these seeds, I actually feel when I look at these cards, Reader 3, you've become quite evolved in who you are. Alright, so you no longer want the playboy, playgirl, Knight of Wands energy, and it bores you with that Four of Cups. You don't want this energy anymore. And now you're saying, well, I'm waiting for somebody who's quite mature to come in, because I'm now at the stage where I'm quite mature, and I know that I'm looking for something a little bit more solid, or someone more solid. What have you been experiencing in the last 2 to 3 months? Oh, Sun in the reverse. So unfortunately, some of you guys, there's been delays. You've not got what you wanted with the Sun in the reverse showing here. It almost feels like there's a little bit of stagnant energy showing here. Things have been taking their time to evolve in relationships. You've probably met people, but again, with that Four of Cups, it just doesn't work out. Therefore, based on everything so far, Reader 3, what's the most likely outcome for love in the next 6 months? Well, you do have a new love. The most likely outcome is you'll meet a Page of Cups, or there will be new love coming in. I'm hoping that that's not the person, and it's simply saying that there's, because pages are new paths, they're new direction. So it could be the most likely outcome in the, you know, the most likely outcome as a result of this is that there is a new direction, there's a new path. There's definitely new love, new person coming in with that Page of Cups, because you've put the work in. You know what you want and you know what you don't want, which is great. You've just been a little bit unlucky not being able to get it as yet. What's coming in the next 2 to 3 months? Oh, we've got a Seven of Swords. This could be a Gemini, Aries. Usually this is Aquarius though. Seven of Swords could be definitely an Aquarius individual. Don't really like the fact that we've got the Seven of Swords coming in for you, because the Seven of Swords, whenever I've seen a Seven of Swords in my reading or anybody's reading, I read for a lot of clients. So if I see this with a client, I know that this is somebody coming in who's probably Knight of Wands, Seven of Swords can be very similar people. They want their freedom, they want to have fun, they want to have lots of sex in a relationship, but they don't want to settle down, they don't like commitment. So this can definitely be a commitment phobe, unfortunately, or somebody who's a little bit underhanded, unfortunately. Seven of Swords person. I think this might be a person. How are you approaching everything right now? Well, you're approaching everything through the eyes of the King of Coins. So I think with the King of Coins energy, you've learned how to, if you approach a situation as a king, you master the situation. You know how to control the situation, because this person has great knowledge. Kings are knowledgeable, but they're also people who are in charge. The King of Coins is accomplishment. I think that you're managing, and I think that you're approaching everything as a pro. I don't mean a prostitute. I mean just a pro, a professional. I think that you're handling everything quite professionally with this King of Coins energy, because he is a professional and he sees everything in terms of, not everything, but because he represents money, wealth, and the tangible, he's often also a business card. So you're kind of approaching all of this situation in a very business-like fashion. It's like you say, you know what, and that would make sense as well, because I just feel that with the Seven of Coins right now, with you guys, reader 3, waiting for the right person to come up, waiting for the right relationship to come in with the Seven of Coins. You know, you're not happy with what you've had, the Four of Cups, because the root issue is that you're just dealing with idiots, people that just want to have some fun, but they don't want any of the commitment with that. And you've had all this kind of like, you know, you've had a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? So you've not been that successful in the last 2 to 3 months in securing the, you know, the type of relationship that you want. It's just a temporary thing, but it is necessarily a bit of a head fucker, to be honest, for some of you guys. What I actually feel that the most, you know, how you're approaching all of those energies here is kind of like, you know, you meet someone, if they're not right, you tend to just let go and get rid, because that's the King of Coins. Now, the King of Coins is, how can I explain him? When it comes to a love reading, this person is extraordinarily cautious. So he will date a lot of people. That's what the King of Coins does. He dates an awful lot of women or an awful lot of men, but he's not going to settle down unless he knows that somebody shares the same values. So you're approaching this situation with a sense of intelligence, with diplomacy, with a sense of groundedness. You're very practical, you're very responsible, you're very traditional as well when it comes to you guys showing as being the King of Coins. If you approach a situation as a King of Coins would, you approach it in the most grounded and practical and sensible way that you can. So how you're approaching this energy here is not with, if we had, say, a Nine of Swords or a Moon or something like that, you might be kind of flapping a bit like, oh my God, when am I going to find the right person, blah, blah. But you're not doing that, because King of Coins would never do that. King of Coins has got his head on his shoulders, and he'd be kind of like, you know what, yeah, I'm a bit pissed off that I haven't found the right person, but that's okay, because there'll be more along and I'll just interview them. You approach everything like an interviewer. You're kind of like, you approach everything from an air of groundedness. You're not flapping, you're not worrying, you're just kind of like, well, they'll come, you know, and I'll just wait and I'll see, and I'll I'll interview the next suitor and see how they are. You kind of approach everything almost like a job interview, if that makes any sense, and you're at the helm of things, almost like you're interviewing the next suitor. So I just feel that you're being very practical, but also very, very sensible in terms of how you approach everything here. What is the advice from the universe? Two of Swords. I like this version of the Two of Swords energy. Now, the Two of Swords on this particular deck, the light series, the reason why I like it is because she looks like she's batting people, you know, these birds off. Now, birds in flight on a card mean conversations, communication. She can't see anything, all right? So what she has to do on the Two of Swords as well, one of the tricks with this card, just to let you in, this card is a card of intuition, all right? It's not just a card about kind of, because it's a number 2, having to, you know, make decisions and blocking people out. I think one of the pieces of advice is if you don't like the way someone speaks, look at all the crows in her ear. She doesn't like them. That's why she looks like she's trying to bat them away. So I actually feel that one of the pieces of advice, just looking at the card and the pictures on there, is if you don't like the way that somebody speaks, if you don't like what they're saying, and if you're hearing in their voices maybe something you've heard before that you didn't like, then you really need to pay attention on that and kind of bat it away. The other thing I would say with this Two of Swords is, because for some of you guys, it's really difficult to know exactly what to do sometimes in a situation, especially if you meet someone and you think that they could be nice, but you're just not sure. I think another piece of advice in terms of this reading is, reader 3, to definitely rely on your intuition. because that's probably for some of you guys all you've got. All right, so just make sure that you really tap into that intuition, especially if you can't quite work out what's going on with someone. What does your gut say? If your gut says, I'm not sure about this person, they always have a saying, especially in the UK where I'm from, it always says, if in doubt, do nout. So if you don't, you know, if you're a little bit like, I'm not sure, I'm a little bit uneasy about this person, or I'm uncomfortable, then you really need to be heeding that. What are your hopes or fears, reader 3? Death reverse. I think that you'd like to wind the clock back, to be honest with you. I think that's what it is. I don't think you want anybody back. Death reverse is it's not rebirth. It's all about resurrection. All right, so somebody could be gone with the death reversed and come back. But I actually feel that this is to turn back the clock. I'm going to clarify that card, actually, and see what you mean, what it means by that. Because your hopes or your fears are death reversed. So what do you mean that reader 3's hopes or fears are death reversed? What do you mean that reader 3's hopes or fears are death reversed in 2 cards? The Tower. So the Tower is all about a shift. Ooh, the Hermit. Okay. So this is somebody who's gaining an insight. Because the Hermit is discovering, this is like an awakening to their insight, or this is like an insight. The Hermit looks into that Tower. So whenever I see the Hermit looking into a card, he's discovering something. All right, so he's discovering this kind of awakening, this like sudden insight. There's a sudden insight. The Hermit is insight and the Tower is, the Tower is sudden and the Hermit is insight. So it's almost like this is all about a sudden insight, a revelation, an awakening here. And it's almost like your hopes are death, rebirth, reversed. Almost like you could go back to the past, or you could reverse certain things from happening here. I think it's because you've got there's an awakening here, happening here. And the awakening might be about some mistakes that you've made. So it almost feels like to me, reader 3, that your hopes are, I wish that I could rewind the clock with the death in the reverse stage, you know. The death reverse, I wish I could rewind the clock. Wish I could kind of like turn things, you know, back maybe a few years or a few months, because suddenly I realise this is like sudden insight, a sudden revelation showing up here, you know, showing up. Yeah, and there you go, the Knight of Wands energy showing up here. But the Knight of Wands is free of the 8 of Swords. So you guys want to be free of this bondage. I won't read the Knight of Wands the same way I read that one there, but I think that you want to be free from bondage, because the Knight of Wands is freedom and the 8 of Swords is bondage. There's sudden revelation that you want to be free from the bondage. And I feel that the bondage with this 8 of Swords is the fact that you keep meeting this type of person. So it's almost like if you could rewind the clock, your hope would be, I wish that I could rewind the clock, because I've suddenly realised that I want to really be free from this bondage. So it's almost like you want to go back to the past. You want to be able to tap back into the past and find out what the reason is for why you keep meeting this type of person here. If only you could rewind the clock and kind of go back and find out why you keep meeting this person, it would make things a lot easier for you. The overall outcome then, reader 3, what is the overall outcome? So we've got somebody here, and I'm sorry, it feels like this could be another one of those. What is the overall outcome? So in the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to be experiencing a 7 of Swords. I would say that this is probably a bit of a dodgy lover, another Knight of Wands. As a result of that, where is your love life heading in the next 6 months? Well, the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands is happiness. It's heading to dating. It's at early stages. So this is the person here. The overall outcome the next 6 months as a result of this energy shows that something is at its early stages, the 4 of Wands. You're enjoying time with this individual. To me, it looks like you're making the same mistakes all over again. That's how it looks to me. Because the 4 of Wands is enjoyment, it's spending time, it's having a good time. And if we've got this, how I do my Celtic cross, we've got here the next 2 to 3 months, the 7 of Swords. I would read that as a person. I've seen this show up a lot of times in love readings, and it often shows up as a bit of a, somebody you can't trust. They're a Knight of Wands. They like to have a good time, but they don't like to commit. And both cards, if you were to read these as clarifiers for one another, they're very, very very similar, because they both can represent people that don't want to commit to relationships, and they'll dodge, they dodge it. They have a good time, but the one thing that they dodge is the commitment, both cards. And I think you could be meeting the same person here. All right, now the advice would be to listen to your intuition here. That's what the advice would be, reader 3. Listen to your intuition, but also listen to the words. You've got birds flying around you. Birds on cards are conversations, they're communication, they're words. So listen to the words. Listen intently, because it might be with the mask, with the blindfold on, that you can't at a glance, when you're looking at this person, truly. It might be also that when you do tarot, you tend to look into the cards. When you know every single meaning of the cards, you can break the rules, and you can say, well, what do I see intuitively? What I feel intuitively about that card as well is that she's blinded. So it might be that one of your traits is, reader 3, that you're often blinded. And the only way that you can be blinded in a relationship is by, well, not the only way, but one of the ways you can be blinded is by the way somebody looks. So it might be often a Knight of Wands, in terms of how a Knight of Wands would look, is very good looking, very athletic, good body, very funny, very enthusiastic, likes to have a laugh, all the rest of it. It's just a really good time individual when you get a Knight of Wands. The problem with the Knight of Wands, though, is when it comes to getting serious and really settling down and committing in a relationship, that sometimes proves to be a bit of a problem. That can sometimes prove to be a bit of a problem for this dude, for this individual. All right, sometimes it just can. Because they just like to have fun, these dudes do. They really love to have fun. So the advice from the universe is, number one, if you're hearing the same conversations with those swords crowing at your ears, bat it away. Do you see what I mean? Because you're batting the crows away. So if you're hearing it, if you're hearing this person coming in again and talking bullshit to you and giving you the gift of the gab, then which is what the Knight of Wands is, a bragger as well. He likes to blow his own trumpet and say, oh yeah, I've done this, I've done that, I'm this, I'm that. If you hear the words, and also what happens sometimes in relationships, reader 3, is that we get involved with people and we hear the same voices from the people that we've dated before that we didn't like, but we carry on in the same pattern because what happens is that we just get into it again, even though we don't want to. And I feel that the universe is saying, if you hear the same voices, then you need to back that person away. I also feel that if you really can't see what this person is because of the way that they look or the way that they present themselves, hence the blindfold, you really need to go inward with that Two of Swords and really rely on that intuition. What is your deep, deep gut telling you about this individual? What is the real, what is the real kind of energy that you derive from this person? Because you guys, you're approaching the situation right now as the King of Coins. You know what you want. You're being very sensible and very responsible when it comes to love. You're not rushing into anything. You're going out on a few dates. You're just going to see what happens. You're going to rely on your instincts, as the King of Coins does as well. He's not easily touched. But when he knows it's the right person who shares his values, that's it for him. He'll stay with that person for life. And that's what you want. That is really, really what you want. But the problem with this reading is I'm seeing somebody coming in the next 2 to 3 months who is a little bit of a douchebag, because they show us the Seven of Swords. They'll tell you all the blarney, because that's the liar of the Seven of Swords. They'll whine and they'll dine you and they'll tell you how amazing you are and bullshit like that. But the problem is that really this person is, wants you for a certain time and then they'll discard you. The Seven of Swords is often the narcissist. The Seven of Swords is often the psychopath. The Seven of Swords is often the liar. Now you guys are here and you're being sensible about everything, and the universe is trying to advise you, dig deep, really kind of tap into that intuition if you should see someone who's able to pull the wool over your eyes, which the Seven of Swords would do. Because the person coming in will be able to put a mask on. The Seven of Swords is all about a mask. So this person is really going to be able to put this mask on to you. Okay? Really be able to put this mask on to you. Okay? It's funny, I've just noticed the moon and the moon's rays. It's almost like the moon is illuminating this person and who they are. So coming in the immediate future, in the next 2 to 3 months, this person coming in is the Seven of Swords. But it's going to be very apparent to you because it's going to be very illuminated. You've got the moon. Can you see how the moon rays shine down on this person. It's almost like his behaviour is illuminated. And if you look at the way he's crouched down, look at the shadow. The shadow almost looks like an animal. It looks like an animal crouching down. So it's almost like he's in disguise. But it's almost like his disguise and his mask is going to be illuminated. So I actually feel that the person coming in, reader 3, you're going to see who this person is. Because you already know, you've been there. That's why you're like this, because you don't want this. And that Knight of Wands and Seven of Swords are very similar characters. So you're kind of, I don't want this. I'm not interested in having just some douchebag just want to come in and out of my life. I want someone that I can settle down with. That's why I'm being so careful and I'm willing to wait. But the problem is that somebody comes in with this Seven of Swords in the next 2 to 3 months. Now, your hopes would be that you could wind back the clock and that you could listen to your younger self, you know, because you've made this kind of discovery. You've discovered this kind of, you've made this realization. There's been this kind of, you know, this awakening, this sudden revelation, this sudden insight that you need to, with the Knight of Wands energy showing in this one here, you need to escape. You need to free yourself from the same old patterns, from the same old thing that you've been living with, that Eight of Swords, from the prison that you've been. You need to kind of release yourself from that. And I think that you really understand that, because you want someone that you can settle down with. But this person who really shows you who they are, you can see it a mile off, because you know who this person, you don't want them, you know who they are, you sniff it a mile off. The universe says, well, in the next 6 months, what's happening around this person in the next 6 months, you're going out and you're having a bloody good time with them, you're still partying with them. So have you really learned any lessons, reader 3, from this individual? Do you see where I'm coming from? Have you you say that you want someone to settle down with, and that you don't want the party person, you don't want the person who takes the piss, and yet when somebody comes in and it shows you who they truly are, because that moon is illuminating who they are, truly shows you who they are, you still go off in the next 6 months and party with them anyway. You still have a good time with them. You're still building something with them. It's not solid, it's a number 4, but you're still kind of building something or other with them. So go figure. Singles, if this resonates with you, if you've got a plan for who you want, it might be that you do this because you're getting bored of waiting. I mean, we have got you waiting here. You're waiting for something to come to fruition, for a true love to come to fruition. You don't want bullshit. You don't want the ones that you've had before. You really want that, and it does say new love, the most likely out, and you will have new love. But the problem is you've got it with the Seven of Swords type, and I never trust Seven of Swords types when I see them, because they often show up to be liars, and people who take the piss. Often I've seen these types show up like that. So go figure. It's completely up to you guys, but I would just say, if this resonates with you, stick to the original plan. Just stick to the original plan. If you really want something, really want it, you should really be sticking with that, all right? No holds barred. Just, and even if you get bored of waiting, don't give in to this, because this is not what you want, all right? All right, that is your love reading for the next 6 months. Reader 3, thank you so much for joining me, and have a great time. Take care. Bye-bye.